Good afternoon, everybody. Before to say anything, I would like to pay my respect to all the Rojava people, to their sacrifice and to their mothers and their families and their relatives and friends, and the whole society of Rojava for all the sacrifices they have made. I'd like also to thank you all for receiving us, the good hospitality, even though the circumstances are difficult for everyone, so thank you. I'd like to start with a famous quote for Vincent van Gogh. I am seeking, I am striving, I am in it with all my heart. And I think this quote is fitting for everyone here today, doing things from the heart, helping others and seeking to understand their plight, especially those who are striving and seeking. Thank you all for including me and the people that I represent in this gathering, which I consider a very important event for me and for them. And indeed, it is a very important gathering for everybody that wants to build a place where they can live in peace. I come from Libya as a region and North Africa as a land. There we have a saying, you can't clap with one hand. This simply means that you cannot do work or good work on your own. People working together in unison can achieve great things, and the building of a new parliament in Rojava or for Rojava people proves that. You probably all know that without the collaboration between the New World Summit organization and the democratic self-administration in Rojava, this place would have probably never been built or never been existing here. And at this point, I would like to relate to another quote from another artist, Andy Warhol, who says, they always say time changes things, but you actually have to change them yourself. Without the people of Rojava and the work of the New World Summit and what it stands for, things would not have changed here. They are those, or the ones who made things change for the better. I am here as a representative of Amazigh people, the native people of Tamizigha, that's North Africa, who for hundreds of years have been repressed, denied their language, their own culture, and their own identity, and forced to hide behind another. It is people like the Amazigh who truly appreciate the work done by the organizations such as the New World Summit that believes in the defense of democracy and uses art as an instrument just to do that. More than that, we need good work like this to be recreated at home. Indeed, the New World Summit has been making a difference to the lives of real people. For example, they've made a temporary embassy for the unrecognized Amazigh state of Azawad in the Netherlands. Now, I'm referring to the Azawad because they are Amazigh. They are probably known to you by the name of Tuareg. But those names, Tuareg, Berber, Kabylia, Shelhi, are all names that were given to the native people of Tamizigha, North Africa, by the invaders, by the Romans and the Arabs and the French. But amongst ourselves, we refer to our nation by the name of Amazigh. And we consider the terms that are used to divide us, and they are terms of racism. In the Amazigh state of Azawad, we also have a strong women's movement, the Association of Women of Azawad, which shows the similarities to the women's movement in Rojava. They organized themselves in protests against the attacks of the Islamists on our Amazigh soil. But they also resisted the way the state of Mali continues to force dependence of the Amazigh community of its government. You must know the Amazigh people currently living in Mali and fighting for their own independence have already started for revolutions since 1960, when in 2012, after the Fourth Revolution, Mali again denied the Amazigh people their independent state of Azawad. It was the women's movement who acted as their arbitrators and the facilitators in the subsequent regulations. They stood firm against the pressure of the international community against the Amazigh people to accept their continuous integration into Mali. For them, the original claim for the full independence of Azawad remained beyond contestation. It was powerful that it is the association of women in Azawad who remained at the forefront of demanding independence, unwilling to be integrated back into the state of Mali. In that light, it means a great deal for me to see what the women of Kurdistan have achieved. However, I am not surprised with all the strong movements in Azawad and Rojava, as I am very aware of the original culture of both nations and their respect and value for women. I am sure I was able to be here today because I am undertaking the responsibility of delivering the message from the Amazigh nation in Libya, as an Arab nationalism stifles their voice again and forces the World Amazigh Council to reconsider their situation and make serious steps. The Amazigh are the native inhabitants of Tamazgha, North Africa, with a population that extends from Morocco's Atlantic coast to the west bank of the Nile in Egypt. The arrival of Arabs in the region in the 7th century AD was the beginning of a slow yet gradual process of Arabization, which intensified during Gaddafi's ruling in 1969 till 2012. Unofficial estimates put the number of Amazigh in Libya at about 10% of the total population. However, I guarantee that if investigations were valid enough, we would discover that the percentage is much higher. You see, the Amazigh people are the native of Libya, but today we feel increasingly targeted and growing political upheaval and the ongoing conflict between the two main parties, the Islamic extremists and the Arab nationalists, who believe only in one nation, the Arab nation, and one language, the Arabic language. Both parties are against accepting the human rights for the Amazigh, and whoever wins will fight us afterwards. We fear this will eventually lead to a genocide campaign against the Amazigh people, a 21st century Holocaust in North Africa. Having said that, if we had the defense that Rojava have today, we would probably avoided any of these threats. So we are actually trapped in the crossfire of those conflicts, as governments remain incapable of recognizing us as a nation. The constitution has moved on without us. The only official language of Libya is Arabic, and that shows no sign of changing. All we wanted is recognition of our existence and our rights to exist. This year, the Amazigh in Libya have re-elected a new Supreme Council. We followed the legal process as it is instructed by the United Nations and other American organizations. We have organized training and workshops and made sure we followed the correct procedures. We have tried multiple times to have our voice heard nationally, to no avail, including various conferences and very civilized protests, which is why we have decided to take a different approach. Tira Innir is a society lobbying for Amazigh rights that aims to raise awareness of our plight. But one of the other great things that they come up with is a very simple first draft constitution proposal for the Nafusa region. The boundaries of the region in question are already stated in its Article 1, an area between the coast of Zawara. I wish if I had the map to show you, but I don't have it. So it's on the coast of Zawara, which is in the borders of Tunisia, and then the mountains of Nafusa and the Oasis of Ghadames in the south of the country. And the proposal outlines that due to the responsiveness of our government, the only way we see ourselves having recognition is through independence as our own state. This way, we can preserve our culture and be recognized as a nation. As a nation, we are owed inclusion within society in planned peacetime. Arab political parties were more than happy to accept our sacrifice in war or in wartime. We gave our blood and our sons for the freedom of our country, and so it is only fitting that we should hold a stake in its future. Just as we are ready to accept and live with all religions, all cultures, our culture should be accepted and our heritage should be recognized. And at the end, I just want to thank again the New World Summit organization for giving me the chance to be here today. For me, I think it is an amazing group that will take a unique idea such as how to be human, and they're just approaching people with this principle. So thank you very much. Thank you for giving me the chance to be here today.